Charleston White is a hypocrite who has now tried to hijack 2Pac's Never Ignorant, Getting Goals Accomplished. No. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Yeah. Blackjack. Life is like a game of cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Yeah. Blackjack. To play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button as it pushes the content out to more potential subscribers, as well as the people who have already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed yourself, please do so. It's very much appreciated. And like I always say, if this is your first time watching Straight Game TV and you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and then hit this bell notification that's right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say it because I've never really heard anybody say it or articulate it. But Charleston White is a hypocrite to the 10th power. And you say, well, DELRAY, you know, you got a lot of people out here saying, you know, I like what Charleston White is saying, and you know, he on their head, he's not going along with the Get Along program, right? That's not true. Let me explain something to you. You can't, in one voice, pretend to advocate for something, and then shortly after that, in the very next sentence, say that you're going to perpetrate the very thing or attempt or commit to the very thing that you say that you're advocating against. We've heard it. In one video, he'll say this.
I said Chicago kids are doomed because the mamas and daddies won't move. Okay. Maybe y'all haven't looked at the educational system, but I took a peek at Chicago's educational system. The children don't fare too well here in education. On top of when they get out of school, they're subjected to violence.
But shortly after that, in the very next video, he'll say this.
I went down there representing with the white boys, disrespecting the city, calling niggas bitches and hoes, and them niggas didn't do a motherfucking thing yesterday. So I don't know what city saw. I saw a bunch of coward ass niggas. They all turned against me.
But shortly after that, in the very next video, he'll say this.
I just want to wake up this morning and let the Muslim community know y'all a worthless piece of shit organization and religion for the new generation of black people. Y'all are a worthless piece of shit organization that's ineffective, invisible, and obsolete to the new generation of black people that's running around shooting guns.
You can't make this up, people. And the most crazy part about it all is my late friend, one of the greatest rappers to ever do this, revolutionary, comes from the background of the Black Panther, the struggle, and all of that, right? Tupac Shakur. Charleston White has now tried to hijack nigga, in which he didn't mean it to be never ignorant, getting goals accomplished like Tupac did when he first started talking. He then tried to hijack that and then put it on a hat as if that was what he meant when he would speak the word nigga. He's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. And so for that reason, I make this video. But more importantly, you have people who feel a certain way about celebrities. And just like Charleston White is able to have his First Amendment rights to freedom of speech, right? So can the rappers who may rap about whatever they rap about, right? That's not something that you or I can say, well, you know, hey, why don't you talk about this? Now that would be you or I dictating as to what they can say and speak on, rather than not letting your children or you yourself even listening to their music. I have a choice. You see people every day that come on YouTube and they might not like the fact that I talk about Tupac a lot, right? But I try to give you substantive information based on facts in which a lot of people have come out and gave you misinformation, right? Based on lies. And so that's my angle. I'm going to give you the facts and leave it there for you to simply sit down and perhaps want to digest the truth. But I understand a lot of people like to stick with the lies. And so when you deal with Charleston White and saying that he's attacking various hip hop artists for speaking about, you know, violence and so on and so forth in their music, if I don't want my child to listen to that, my child's not going to listen to it. And if they do happen to come across it and they say, well, Daddy, you know, well, what this mean? We're going to sit down and we're going to have a dialogue about that. And we're going to separate what's real, right, from what's fiction. And the consequences behind whatever's going on or whatever information that I feel like I need to impart into my child. So now, Charleston White is not a superhero. Absolutely, positively not. And therefore, each and every time he speaks, he's getting paid. Now, I'm not knocking the brother from receiving revenue from the lane that he has created. But when you then try to put yourself on a pedestal as if you're some Martin or Malcolm.
Nigga, I'm like Malcolm. The chickens are coming home to roost.
No. Like I told you, and I don't think a lot of people understood when I say this, Charleston White is not a feature film. He is the movie of the week. We've seen them come, we've seen them go. And right now, you know, he can speak on various topics. But like I said, once again, most of what he's done and he speaks on, he speaks from a hypocritical standpoint. 1 minute, he says he's against violence. The next minute, he's holding a banana clip what appears to be some kind of AK-47 and says, I got bullets for all of you niggas. Look.
You motherfucker. Yeah, come on basketball shoot, nigga. It's the 4th of July. Ain't nobody playing basketball tonight. Here, bitch ass nigga, I got some shit for a nigga's ass.
Charleston White has created imaginary beef with people who didn't even know he existed by speaking their name. I got to give it to him. It's a brilliant move, Brother Charleston. But yeah, therein lies the hypocritical part. So you got to understand that I understand that nobody's perfect. But if your message is going to be that of a child advocate, a community advocate, an advocate against gang violence or street violence, or let that be what that is. But you cannot, in the very next sentence, say, I got a bullet for all of you niggas.
You motherfucker. Yeah, come on basketball shoot, nigga. It's the 4th of July. Ain't nobody playing basketball tonight. Here, bitch ass nigga, I got some shit for a nigga's ass.
And nobody even knew you existed to be able to say your name until you spoke ill of them, acting as if you were somehow the solution to a problem that you created. Because at the end of the day, what we've been dealing with is simply freedom of speech. And then so much so, as you can see, that there's really no line that the brother Charleston draws as to attack the kids, as to speak ill of people's children, you know, and then to keep constantly using the word nigga and then try to hijack Tupac's never ignorant getting goals accomplished, as if that's what he means when he says nigga.
And you niggas don't shoot this good to do headshots. Very few niggas die by getting shot in the head. You niggas riddle the body with bullets. So you go get you some of these boys. And these bitch ass niggas don't know what to do when you got this type of shit here. Hold on.
Absolutely, positively not. That belongs to Tupac. You can't take that away and try to encompass that into what you say you mean in regards to that. Right? And so when I say that, like I said, once again, 1 minute I'm hanging with killers, and I you know, the next minute, you know, I'm a member of the police commission or coalition or whatever. You can't be both. That's hypocritical. And I think the brother Charleston knows that. So even in dealing with the Tupac situation, right, when, you know, and then he had said that, I forgot what rapper it was that that was everything that Tupac wanted to be. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And not to put this on Pac at that particular time, but Pac was a shooter. Not a shooter of black men because he felt like, yeah, I got something for you and so on and so forth. But when it came down to do what he needed to do to help the brother that was down in Georgia, right? When he spoke on trying to build these community centers, him, Tretch, and everybody else, and all of the other rappers, E40 and all these brothers, right, trying to do these community centers right before he was killed.
Well, what I'm trying to do now is have this program where I'm gonna have like a rap league for like me. Tupac have his own football team, and Coolio have a football team, and Tretch have a football team. We all sponsor the team.
Made up of kids in neighborhoods?
Right. We sponsor the teams, have big games, probably get MTV to come do the World Series. Get like all the community people, like the churches, to come out there and sell food, and get the fathers and the uncles to be security, and get the FOI and the deacons and everything, and bring the community spirit back. And then on the weekends we have like block parties. So I'm doing all this to raise money. Then we have like Get a Date, fundraisers, like people try to get a date with Tupac or Tretch or one of the other rappers.
And where would the money go to?
We'll have like a neutral center where we'll get the money together, and that'll be for, we're trying to get a community center in every ghetto in the United States.
Right? Using the money that he generated from what he was doing, right? And trying to look for assistance and talking about including the Nation of Islam and all of the other groups or people that might want to help, white, black, or otherwise. Creating community centers for young black youth. And whoever else lived in that community that community center would be able to help. So once again, attempting to mention Tupac's name, whether it be T.I.'s name, whether it be Boosie's name, in these sentences, right? Creating this thing, and where he says, well, such and such is, he's this and he's that. He's a punk. He's this, he's that, right? When the individual that he's speaking on ain't never said his name. And so I understand the confusion. I understand the hypocrisy. I understand the attempt at creating drama in order to bring attention to oneself and saying now that he's some kind of martyr in which people are going to have to kill. I don't wish that on no brother Charleston. He seems like a good guy overall. And I think, that he's gotten to the place where, every time he says something incendiary, he needs to take it to a higher level to maintain the attention on himself, right? By saying something even more incendiary. You understand what I'm saying? And like I said, even to mention people's children. But once again, you cannot advocate for nonviolence or trying to better the community, and then in the same, same sentence, 3 to 5 seconds later, come back and said, yeah, I got a bullet for all of you niggas. Based on what? You saying their name? Come on now. So the provocation, right, is created by Charleston White. And now all of a sudden, what we have to do is understand that somehow, some way, that the person name he mentioned now has a beef with him based on him saying their name and them never saying anything about him. It's hypocritical. You know, and so at the same time, when we deal with everything that's been said as of recent, you know, in the platforms that have had Brother Charleston White on, you know what I mean? There's been nobody that I've seen, right? And you can correct me, am I wrong, other than in the church, that has really gotten brothers in which I know used to be on the street that was serious threats. You'd never hear them on the internet talking. They now in the Nation of Islam. Walking the straight and narrow. I'm talking about real, them real dudes that was out there. They were kingpins at one time. That had organizations, right? Who went to federal prison, state prison, found whatever religion, be it Jesus, God, the Nation of Islam, whatever, right? But what I speak mainly of the nation, in which they walk in the straight and narrow right now. That's not Charleston White. Charleston White doesn't bring about that kind of change from guys who were getting real money, right? Who found the nation and came home and said, you know what? I've humbled myself, because if I can go to anybody's prison and give them 20 years of my life, I definitely can come home and try to be a productive member of society. So then, once again, you hear him speak on the minister.
You don't have no impact on these people. None whatsoever. You niggas, so all I'm saying is, fuck Farrakhan and that bullshit he talking about. Fuck whichever one you bitch ass nigga, Muslim nigga that's mad about what I'm saying. You hoe ass niggas ain't gonna do nothing.
I don't even know how to address that. I don't even know how to address that. I'm gonna leave that part alone, because I know, you know, that's a touchy subject. And like I said, I wish the minister a good health and all of the things that he's done. Like I said, and just listening to his message in my life and how I used to be and where I am in my life at this particular point. Right? So I say that to say that in the community that's filled with guns, right? As we see the violence and things like that, here we have ourselves, or some of us are calling Charleston White. He was what was needed. His truth, his speaking the truth. Nah, that's not true at all. He touches on valid points, but the truth is subjective. You understand what I'm saying? So when we talk about that part of it, it's like, okay, cool. Well, if I'm listening to him and then he said, oh, I'm advocating the kids and, the mamas and the daddies, they would want me to. No. What the mamas and the daddies need to do is to raise their children, right? With the same decency and respect that they would want for somebody else's children. And I'm not looking out for nobody else or to give any kind of message to my child in regards to a Charleston White or anybody else. And so I say that to say that Charleston White is a hypocrite. Please listen. I understand that he might say some of the things that you might feel about certain people as to the rappers, and they should be leaders and they should do this and they should do that. But see, the thing I pay attention is they got their own kids. I don't want nobody to raise my child that's a rapper. I want to be able to be the example that he sees or she sees each and every day. Get up, go to work, know what it's like to put in hard work, know what it's like to reap the benefits of hard work, right? Know how to read, to write, to count. Know what a scam is and when somebody trying to get over on you. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the things that I as a father want to teach my child. I don't need no rapper to raise my child. And therefore, so this false notion that, oh, how somehow Charleston White speaks for the community, it's just that. It's false. He doesn't speak for the community. He speaks for himself. Period. Because there's no way on God's green earth that you can 1 minute advocate against nonviolence, advocate for women, right? And claim to advocate for children, and in the same breath call these women bitches and hoes.
I went down there representing with the white boys, disrespecting the city, calling niggas bitches and hoes, and them niggas didn't do a motherfucking thing yesterday. So I don't know what city saw. I saw a bunch of coward ass niggas. They all turned against me.
So he's taking something and saying, okay, well, yeah, they disrespect black women, but he's doing the same thing. The same exact thing. 4 or 5 seconds later from what he just claimed to advocate against. He's doing it. Like I said, some people will pee on you and tell you that it's raining. You got to be careful. Your boy DELRAY, straight game.